Greetings, everyone. Welcome to probably the end of our little everlasting summer journey. Our summer will soon be over, and we will go back to winter. Or just Pixel Run. But yeah, there's one more route I feel like doing. Why not, you know? We completed the game, but let's do the mod. Or whatever it's called. Mod and user scenarios. One pioneer story. Let's go. I don't like that. Breathing. God, if they add sound effects, like more sound effects in this game, just imagine how scary they could make this game. Beyond scary. Running to the door. We're running to the camp entrance. We're running to the forest, maybe, I don't know. We're running more into the forest, I don't know why. Oh, stop. Stop breathing. Take a breath. Chill out, my dude, chill out. Okay, here we go. My world is empty as I am. I destroyed myself to become a whole world, a world of emptiness, and it destroyed me. I believed that I had someone's fate in my hands, the power to end the lives of others, but I was only wandering in the darkness, vainly hiding from any new beam of light, every one of which was only spawning empty shadows. Every shadow was my faceless reflection, a cloud of absolute darkness with a single goal, to consume me. I was hiding from them, merging with them. They were becoming me and I was becoming them, and finally it didn't matter which one of us is on that side of the mirror. Although, in this case, it is not just a cliched phrase, or the reflection of a crude loser. It is a fact. Even though this wasn't the case before, even though before the worlds were many, and my life could be called a life, because it all ended in a single moment. First was this damn bus, again, everywhere, and a crowd of those playful, whooping pioneers around, the same as me. And then again and again, like a vivid kaleidoscope of faces, events, emotions, and feelings. But who the hell cares anymore? You know, if a man has died, he will regret what he didn't have time for, what he didn't do, what he didn't say, rather than explain how his life journey ended. But I am in one of those places where the souls go after death, and everything could have been different too. It doesn't matter that the end is always one and the same, if the road to it can vary. It depends on my choice. It did before, so when did everything change? The different versions of events, the lines of life, the people's fates seemed to intertwine several times over, resulting in something like a rope of doom which you can only hang yourself on. So when did it all change? Surely not in a single day, a single hour, but certainly so fast I didn't even have time to notice. Huh. Interesting. New music. The rays of the summer sun shined into my eyes. A summer one. Well, who would have thought? What a surprise. But it was winter yesterday. Or was it yesterday? I know there's a pack of cigarettes and a matchbox tucked away in the driver's glove box. My head spun from the deep breaths I inhaled, and the nasty smell of menthol fettered my brain with a chill. Cosmos for export. They could damn well make stuff for export then, unlike now. Nuclear reactors, rifles, cigarettes, and communism. Lots of communism, in boxes, crates, containers, in the cargo holds of ships, in the freight sections of planes. Hey, Kurisoro, what's up? Welcome to the Zhenya route. In the goods, wagons of trains, even in the spaceships. Even more communism to the piegems, of Africa, in cans of South America, pounds of New Guinea. I probably read that wrong too. Good for me. And I guess we can even drop a package for the penguins in Antarctica, too. Fag, I'm raving. Faug. It's Faug, he said. Finishing the third cigarette, I stared at the gates and started to wait. I don't even need a clock. There's an unfailing internal chronometer working in my head. Now, just a little bit longer. One of the doors squeaked disgustingly and opened up a bit, and from behind it peeked out a girl in a pioneer uniform who looked around and noticed me. Walking closer, she sniffed the heavy, hot air and seemed to be a bit surprised, but immediately smiled and spoke. Hi, you must be the new. Oh! No. No, 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 no. Don't you dare scare me like that with that noise. I shouted and got up and went to the camp, ignoring her. It was a hilarious once again, and then it was fun. Now it's just a habit. A foolish but obsessive habit, like putting different things in different pockets. I, for example, can't carry a phone in my right pocket because, hell if I know why. And this is the same deal. Insulting a girl in the morning is a good start to the day. I met another pioneer girl on the way. To be more precise, she tried to hit me on the back, but I jumped away in time and glared at her in a way that seemed to make the poor girl suddenly come up with a more urgent things to do. Scared? Okay. The camp leader's hut was drowning in a storm of lilacs. Can it just drown already, damn it? The loud slam of the door distracted the occupant from reading some book. No, I really never wondered what the camp leader reads. Without undressing, I hopped onto the bed and threw my feet in their winter boots up on the backboard. What do you think you're doing? And for that matter, who are you? The camp leader asked, genuinely resentful. Shut your mouth, woman, I said lazily. She was petrified, unable to say a word. It's always like this, every damn time. Better yet, tell me, why have you still not found yourself a man? How old are you, 25? Late 20s? You should understand the way the world works at this age. For a moment, a heavy silence hung in the room. You don't know? I'll tell you then. Who the hell would want someone like you? The camp leader's house resounded with a loud laugh, or even something more like a horse neigh, while a familiar melody rang outside. A couple of times I tried to find out where the supper music was coming from, so instead of it, the speakers would play something more or less cheery throughout the camp. I didn't though. Looks like this angelic singing needs neither a player, nor wires, nor electricity. To hell with it then. For example, right now I wouldn't be against the whole camp hearing me laugh. But at whom? Not at myself, no. I'm just laughing because laughter is a wonderful defense mechanism, and a way to ally the boredom. How much does a minute of laughter give you? 5 minutes of life? Well, it's of no use to me. I'm a de facto immortal. I just need a notarial certification. How dare you talk this way to your elder? Oi, oh yeah, dear. Change the track already, will you? Honestly, I'm sick of listening to the same thing time and time again. Let's try it this way. Hello, how are you doing? See, it's not that difficult. Okay, your turn now. You can tell that someone else wrote this. What? Not what. It's hello, how are you doing? And I reply, thanks, bad as always, and maybe even I'll add thanks to your prayers. Get out of here, I'll call the police. How? With the Pigeon Express? The phone isn't working. Yes, but the camp leader faltered, although I reached into my pocket, the left one, took out my mobile and threw it to her. Here, try it. The camp leader caught the phone. It jumped around several times in her hands and almost fell to the floor. What is this? A phone. I gave her a short answer and closed my eyes. That thing, you know? Ting-a-ling-a-ling, the telephone began to ring. Are you sick in the head? The camp leader seemed to have finally started to come to her senses. What about you? I don't know what's happening here. Have you seen the film Groundhog Day? You haven't? Well, anyway, if that library of yours has some books on psychiatry, I would have been able to answer the question about my psychiatric condition with more certainty. That's why for now I'm only ready to tell you as an amateur. Yes, Olya dear, I'm sick. And again the loud devilish laugh. The camp leader was stunned and released the phone from her hand. It fell on the edge of the bed and bounced toward me. I picked up the cell at once and put it in my pocket. but not in love with you, I added, opening one eye. Someone shyly knocked on the door, then it opened and a pioneer girl appeared at the doorstep. Oh, god damn it. Wow, what is wrong with me? I theatrically jumped out of bed. I can't read words anymore, guys. This novel has broken me. And where's the chopper? Forgotten at home? The girl looked at the camp leader in confusion. This is... She started, then sighed and sank heavily onto the opposite bed. Actually, I knew that the camp leader isn't afraid of me. The fear is simply not included in her program. She can be resentful, yeah, as much as you want. Imitate fright, most assuredly. But a couple minutes will pass and she'll withdraw, leaving me be. Camp leader, my foot. If I were in her shoes... This must be a bad time, the girl shyly prattled, casting her eyes down and preparing to leave. Why, don't be shy, I exclaimed hospitably, gesturing to a place near me. Sit down now, make yourself at home. No, Sit down, I said. I barked. Bark! Now this girl can certainly display genuine fright, fear, and even terror. She slowly approached and sat on my bed, clinging to the black backboard. So, got anything nice to tell me? Red. What is happening, guys? I, the same as any other kid, was taught by my parents since childhood that I shouldn't open the door to strangers, and also that I would be better off not going who knows where when called by who knows who. But that was in childhood, and now literally everything depends on whether or not I trust a stranger. It seems like a whole life has gone by already, and I had time to get old, mentally, if not physically, and I forgot what winter is. Cold, snow, the evening darkness, wind that chills to the bone, and eternal muddy slush. Same goes for the city, not stopping for a minute, always running somewhere, and fumigating the dirty sky and people with its lines of rotten chimneys and car exhausts. It stayed in the distant past like the faded pages of an old photo album that had been thrown into a storeroom as unnecessary. I have no idea what's going on here. Hi. Hey, the voice of the girl sitting nearby distracted me from these thoughts. You hung up again? Still thinking about that? About what? She meant no offense, and I asked again, just for the sake of it. I already knew the answer. You know. We were sitting on the library's roof, our legs dangling over the edge. Zhenya leaned back a bit, her hair beautifully fluttering in the wind. The bright sun was shining into our eyes, making us squint, but it wasn't blinding, more like velvety warm. It seemed to envelop your whole body in the pleasant heat of a summer day. No, I don't know, I guess. Lately, I can't always say what I'm thinking about, just a mush of thoughts in my head. I fell silent for a moment and looked at Zhenya. She looked like she was uninterested, not only in our conversation, but in everything happening around her in general. As if this girl was okay with everything. The summer, the sun, the pleasant wind, our youth. And if this is enough for her to be happy, and the rest are just foolish trivialities. In short, you get what I'm saying. Why do you even ask? Because a human is a social creature. It's supposed to communicate with others like it. She grinned almost unnoticeably. Yeah, right. Look who's talking. Wait here. I'll go get the award for the most communicative pioneer of the year 1980 whatever. What about me? I, unlike some people, have quite specific responsibilities in this camp. I'm a respected member of our collective irreplaceable even, in a sense, in contrast to you. Zenya's eyes sparked as she grinned mockingly. Responsibilities, yeah, sure. I covered my eyes with my palm and leaned back. Seriously, can't you hear yourself? Can you hear yourself? Responsibilities? Collective? Hey, Zhenya said sternly and poked my belly. Oh, I moaned, mostly theatrically, and cast a wrathful glance in her direction. What if I fell down? Hurt myself, huh? That would be highly regrettable. There isn't even any place to get life insurance here. Yeah, and there would be no one to pay the reimbursement to afterwards. Well, no one is. I rubbed the back of my head, smiled dumbly, and said, What about you? Me? Zhenya thought for a second. Well, maybe, though I don't think the canteen accepts dollars, euro, credit cards, or at the very least Russian rubles. And there's probably no currency exchange here either. And even if there was, who knows how the exchange rate is doing? I don't want to suffer from the inflation, you know? Demand they pay you in gold. Gold my ass. She threw herself on me, trying to either tickle me, squeeze me, beat me down, or all of the above. Rad. So, Kurosoro, you know this game, right? Can you tell me what the heck's going on here? Like, what is the story so far? Leaving the camp leader's house, I was chuckling. Oh, I probably shouldn't have expected anything from the conversation with this pioneer girl, and I didn't. Why would I? It's all been known for a long time now. I'm able to play this piece on my own, like a miserable one-man show. What an irony, a play with one actor, in a theater with one spectator, in a city with one citizen, in a universe with one living being. What did I ask? What's going on in this chapter? Like, I'm a little lost. This chapter's a little strange. Or living in quotation marks. Or maybe living in italics? What kind of obituary would you prefer? With scroll work or without? Hey, let's be friends. Just complete this route, you will understand all. Alright, I'll take your word for it. Also, welcome, let's be friends. How are you doing today? With capitals or without? What font would you like? Should the paper be glossy or matte? Foul. Again. Down the road was skipping a jolly little girl. Should I maybe start with her this time around? I remember there being a splendid meat hooks in the canteen. What? Or shouldn't I? And who are you? She blurted out, coming up to me. Hey there, did I complete the harem ending? Yes, I did. Hello, MTZ Gamer. How is life? I hope that you are good. As good as I am right now. I am the terror that flaps in the night. Boo! I demonstratively spread my arms and loomed over her. That's not scary at all. Not scary? Well, it'll do for now. I grinned and went forward. Hey! Her shout followed me. Wait! The girl caught up to me and grabbed my hand. Don't touch me! I cried with disgust and forcefully jerked my hand so the young pioneer flew off the road and fell into the bushes. Good for me. Ouch, that hurt! She started to cry. Strange. Now this is really strange. I don't think something like this has ever happened before. Of course, this day has repeated itself so many times already that it's impossible to count. And the point is really not the girl flying into the bushes. It's that there shouldn't be anything new. Even such an insignificant as one might think, occurrence may in the end turn out to be more important than all of the previous times. This is then the first time. I don't know why. I just feel like it's let its simple being too long since anything new happened. Of course, this world isn't comparable to a monotone mechanism that does its work soullessly, but all the variations of the script are familiar to me. And when I say all, I mean all. A couple of minutes ago into the camp leader's house could not have come out. A couple of minutes ago into the camp leader's house could have come not that shy pioneer, but the girl who met me at the camp's gates, and I would be ready. Or the arrogant pioneer girl that greets strangers with a thump on the back, and I would be ready. Or even this little crybaby, and I would still be ready. But now, at this very moment, something is happening that I'm not ready for. Have you checked mods that you have recommended me? I have. I might do them at a later date, though. But after this day, I'm going to be taking quite a long break from this game. But I'll think about it. I'll consider it. And above all, I'm not ready for surprises. The girl continued to cry, looking at me with the eyes full of anger and resentment. It's all your fault! Come on, what are you crying for? I walked up to her hesitatingly and reached out my hand. For a second, the girl made a puzzled face, but then grabbed me and got to her feet with a jerk. Felt ashamed, did you? That's the point. You can't bully the little ones. Ashamed? I repeated, my thoughts far from here. Why? Because of you? Why would I be? But you should. She frowned and ran toward the camp leader's house. To complain, maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. For the first time in a long, long time, something like this has happened. Just a couple of minutes ago, I could say with certainty what each of the pioneers is occupied with at this peculiar moment. And what now? Foul! At dinner, the camp leader approached me. That turned out awkward, she began as she gathered her thoughts. Your parents called me and... But you could have behaved more properly, and at least introduced yourself for a start, she said as her expression changed. But that's nothing. What? We will make a model pioneer of you. Before I would have told her in detail about both the pioneers and the modeling, but right now I just had no desire to talk, neither with her nor with anyone else. All right then, for start you should meet your comrades. The camp leader waved her hand, inviting someone to the table, and two girls approached us. Well, enjoy your meal, I have more things to do, she said uncertainly, and left the pioneers alone with me. Hi, you're new, right? Do you like music? Join our music club. It's only me there right now, though. But with you there, we'll be two of us. It'll be fun, don't you think? I didn't look at her and continued to eat intently. Leave him alone. Don't you see he's kinda a lame brain? If the first girl was just a bit dumb, the second one I would compare to that grumpy cat from the internet. How about... I've never actually done this before. It just never crossed my mind. Well, if I don't know if the future events now, then why not give it a try? I silently got up, took the compote glass, and poured it on the second pioneer's head. Bon appetit! I summed up this act of vandalism with a stony voice and headed to the exit of the canteen. The girl cried, squealed, wheezed, and even moaned it somewhat hoarsely, but didn't try to stop me. Right now I most wanted to be in some other place, to look at the world from the outside, to observe the suffering of others from the height of my experience. But starting today, those places are no more. At the doors, I bumped into that first girl who I met at the gates. Tried to go round her, but received a biting slap in the face. Hey, Red Squid. You're bleeped? What's wrong? What's wrong, Red Squid? Tell me, what's up? The sound immediately rang through the canteen, its echo bouncing off the ceiling. In the space of a moment, complete silence fell. In less than a second, my hand clenched into a fist, nails digging into the palm, the skin on my knuckles stretched almost to the point of rupturing. I was going to knock this bitch out. Maybe it was late by a fraction of a second. Between us, as if out of the ground, sprang the little pioneer that I threw into the bushes. She spread her hands sideways. You're about to fight Omega Flowey? Is that a Deltarune thing? Cause that's spoilers. Don't say spoilers, Red Squid. I haven't played the game yet. Protecting her friend with her small body. And that was the end of that. I unclenched my fist, my willpower gone. I lowered my head, squeezed past them, and left the canteen. Goodbye. Or is this, the first game reference? Which game are you referencing, Red Squid? Did they really turn out to be stronger than me? Why did something like this ever even happen? Before I would have... Why even would? Nothing stopped me so many times. Hitting a girl was nothing. I've done worse things. Looks like this world has changed without informing me. ... Whoa. The rings of cigarette smoke were slowly drifting toward Genda. The pack was almost empty already, and there was nowhere else to get smokes here. I will have to wait another week. Obviously, I could go to the Autistic Brothers. Sheesh. Who the heck am I? I'm a jerk, Semyon. Take the bottle of vodka and get drunk. But what would that change? Decisions so complicated now and so simple then. Fach, when did I start to think of like that damn loser already? No, never. Got any more? Yet another pioneer girl took a seat near me. What? I asked uncomprehendingly. She pointed at the cigarette. Smoking is bad for your health. Look who's talking. She grinned. Mine's made of rubber. Wanna try it? No need. I'll take it on trust. I handed a cigarette to her and gave her a light. You did something cool today. Well, she said after the coughing stopped. And the camp leader in her hut, I heard, at the supper. At least I'm not the camp's biggest disgrace now. I looked at her carefully. The pioneer was smoking the cigarette casually, and smiling so complacently, as if the whole world had already acknowledged her rightness. And you, I see, are only thinking of yourself. What? What are you talking about? No. Her expression changed. She even panicked a little and choked on the smoke. But you're right. You were never the worst one here. I'm not so sure about myself, though. You're talking, so, well, coolly. Now, praise from her was certainly all I needed. Or maybe... Listen, I started, smiling one of my studied smiles. While we're at it, do you want to meet for a drink, so to say? You got any? The pioneer's eyes flashed. I can always find some for a good comrade. Red. Lots of red. And then we go here. Although it all started like in a bad novel that's printed by chapter in a gutter newspaper, it turned out completely different. The memories blended together into a continuous haze of an orange-red tone, like the yellow brick road leading to the Emerald City. Though Dorothy grew up a bit and earned a living by prostitution because instead of studying diligently, she was all caught up in dreams of a magical land. The Cowardly Lion got hooked on meth and was shot in a fireplace with the police. Now the Tin Man had a pretty good life. He's become a hitman. And Scarecrow didn't even change at all. He got himself a stable, low-paying job in an office, with convenient working hours from 9 to 6, and an absence of career opportunities. There probably weren't any magical city ahead in the first place. An endless road with no destination or meaning. You know, at that time he really was talking about something like this. Tried to warn me, at least. I wasn't listening. And as a result ended up as the only one to get stuck in this damn Mobius strip. Here's this image again. She was sitting nearby and squinting with discontent. Hey, hello, Earth is calling. Okay, what's wrong? Like I can't take a moment to think already. Thought should lead up to a result, and what have you got? Well, what have I got? A lack of results. A lack of results is still a result. Zhenya painfully pinched me on the shoulder and moved a meter away. If you're still here, Red Squid, by the way, I wish you luck on your boss fight. Good luck, you can beat him. And then she appeared. No, Zhenya. Zhenya have always been in Savyanak, but this time I saw my Zhenya for the first time. Maybe I don't remember what happened before and what came after that well, but those several days will forever remain in my memory. Dots. I have already realized clearly that this is not my frozen world. Understood that an eternity later I had again, as I had once before, managed to fall into another. Managed accidentally, as if for a second the orbits of two planets crossed and I only had a moment. If I were a second late, they'd fly away from each other forever, getting farther and farther apart with stupendous speed. This world is as lonely and empty as the previous one. But the main thing is that it's different, and there are things here unfamiliar to me. Oh, this is really important. It is so important for me. For example, Zhenya sitting not in the library, but on the canteen's porch. After all that's happened, I was just not capable of sarcasm. Hi, I said as I came closer, but still stopping at a safe distance. Zhenya raised her eyes to me. Her face showed that she didn't expect to meet someone here. Hi. And her voice didn't sound like unusual. Her voice didn't sound like unusual. Not that I would have mistaken the librarian's intonation for anything else. Decided to get to supper earlier? No, I don't know. When's supper again? She pattered. What do you mean, when's supper? Her answer left me in a stupor that I broke into a smile, though a chill ran through my whole body. No, sorry. Of course I know when supper is. It's just, well... Zhenya got completely confused and stared at her feet. It seemed like the last thing she wanted right now was to be here, but she didn't have enough to resolve to leave. It was strange, but didn't scare me at all. On the contrary, I was happy because something new, beyond the scope of the pattern, has happened. Are you alright? I asked the stupidest question possible in this situation. What did I even expect to hear in return? Yes, thank you. For what? I don't know. Well, for being worried. Well, I just... A faint tinge of discontent appeared on her face, but disappeared immediately, and Zhenya slowly got up. I got to go. Wait, but weren't you on your way to the canteen? I'll come later. I've got other things to do. Okay. I didn't stop her, but decided to follow. God knows how long it has been since anything like that happened to me. Only on my first few times here, maybe. Zhenya came to the square and quickly went in the direction of the library. She never turned around on the way, so I didn't even have to hide much. When the door shut behind her, I froze in hesitation. So what's next? Should I knock and go in? But what will I tell her? One wouldn't need to be a detective to realize that I have been following her. I was brought out of my thoughts by Electronic, who appeared before me as if out of nowhere. What, came with the checklist? Eh? Yeah, just decided to visit the library. Got it, I won't distract you then, he said, and prepared to leave already. Wait, don't you think that lately Zhenya has been, well, behaving strangely, I guess? Electronic looked at me carefully, appraisingly even. Did something happen? No, nothing. It looked as if I was making excuses, and a feeling of personal pettiness enveloped me. Why should I make excuses to him? I'm just asking. What, I can't even ask already? No, of course you can, he said nervously. Maybe she really has been a bit strange. I guess I've noticed something like that in the past couple of days. Really? And how did this strangeness manifest itself? I'm not sure. She's just usually more self-confident or something. You think we should talk to her? I was going to say, you certainly shouldn't, but restrained myself. Okay, forget it. Maybe she's just in that mood. What mood? No mood. That one. Guess it. Aren't you one of our future scientists? I answered abruptly. Electronic thought for a moment, as if pondering the fate of the world, and then nodded understandingly. Okay. I spread my arms a bit and lowered my head, indicating that if he had no more business with me, then it would be better for him to get back to building robots, and to do so as much as possible. Of course, he was a bit slow, but this time he understood me on the first try. When Electronic left, I sat, my back pressed against the tree near the library, in such a way so I couldn't be seen from the windows, and started to think. To be more specific, I tried to think, because there were catastrophically not enough facts for a comprehensive analysis of the situation. When the wallpaper in your room changes from white to black, you can get surprised, scared, assume that they've been recolored without you knowing, get angry at the one who did that. But those are all emotions. A fact in that situation would be a note on the table saying something like, "Dear, I thought it would be better to get ready for eternity beforehand, so I changed the tone of the interior to a more fitting one." And what did I have on my hands at the moment? Behind me, a huge number of loops. Now the librarian's strange behavior, and ahead, uncertainty. Not exactly a solid basis for constructing theories of any kind. No, and I was a master of theories, if anything. Though this was all in the past, because at some point I stopped caring completely about why exactly I am destined to spend an eternity in this camp. Fuck, again! And whenever I decided this is all not like me. I don't think like that and probably never did. It's as if someone put foreign words into my head. Did I stop being myself when I came to an alien world? The grass treacherously rustled under my feet, giving my presence away. I was sneaking up to the library, trying to find out what is happening inside. Zhenya was sitting behind a table, staring straight ahead, without even a thought flashed through my head. She looked bewildered, doomed maybe, like someone who was told they have only a matter of hours left to live. I wish I could tell her that everything's alright, and in 5 days it'll all repeat again. And then again. But how could this even be alright? It's like telling a sick man that he'll die in 5 days' time, but he shouldn't be worried, because in 7 days after that he'll die again. Huh. About 10 minutes had passed, but Zhenya never moved. Sometimes it even seemed to me that she wasn't breathing. Now I began to realize with certainty that this was that this is not just strange, this is it. The thing that threw me into this new world. I just have to decide what to start with. I could ask her head on, tell her my story. Oh, here you are! The camp leader was standing behind me. I turned around abruptly and I said irritably, "What do you want?" Like always, like I was used to. "What are you dithering here for? Forget that you need to get a signature in the library too?" The camp leader seemed not to pay attention to my words and tone. Not like usual, but like some time long ago. Along with memories of my first appearance in this camp, came the long-forgotten images of the local inhabitants, those I had deemed to be people at the time, not just decorations. It's just, you see, I don't even want to hear it. Get it all signed before dinner. Of course, I was just going to see... Then go! Olga followed me to the door with her eyes, so I didn't even have to choose what to do next. The camp leader helped. I'm starting to... piece together the puzzle here. I think I know what's going on, but I'm gonna keep reading. The library smelled like book dust, old Soviet furniture, and a little bit of damp. Zhenya was sitting and paying no attention to me, and seemed to only come to her senses when I closed the door. Hi again. I started hesitantly. After all, I was used to a certain behavior and communication pattern with the camp's inhabitants, and it was hard to change my ways. And this camp leader didn't let me get ready either. I wish I'd strangle her with my Panama as always. Zhenya didn't answer, but kept looking at me cautiously. I kind of came to get the checklist signed. Okay, give it here, she answered unemotionally. I started to fumble in my pockets and then realized, no, there's totally something wrong happening with me. I should have gotten used to everything after all this time, and I'm behaving like a first grader. More specifically, like a first sessioner in the terms of this world. I think I've lost it, I said, making an upset face. That's too bad, she replied in the same dry and uninterested voice. I froze in some kind of superposition. If I turn around and leave now, then what? But at that moment, determination came from who knows where. Can I ask you a question? What question? And really, what? Don't you think they've been under-salting the food in this canteen lately? The night have gotten pretty cold, right? Oh, by the way, do you know that I'm an alien from the future? Are you alright? Lately it seems like you're upset with something. Zenya's face showed a glimpse of the interest. But we don't know each other. Yeah, sure, it's just that I saw you yesterday and thought I was getting more and more entangled in lies. The inability to tell the truth was driving me even further into autism and reducing my vocabulary. I saw you running through the camp yesterday too, but we still don't know each other. No, we don't, but I was told about you by Slavia. Yeah, you're roommates with her, right? And what did she tell you? Little by little, Zhenya was starting to emerge from her contemplative condition. Nothing. I let out a helpless sigh and heavily sank into the chair near the door. Outside the window, the many-voiced birds were singing their songs. The crickets were chattering, somewhere water was splashing, and from far away was the perky sound of children laughing. But all of that was there, beyond the walls of the library. Inside of here are only the two of us, me and Zhenya, or to be more precise, a girl who looks like Zhenya. There was no fear, but rather wonder. Let's assume that I'm not me. Who are you, then? For a second, I even felt insulted that she didn't know who I am. Why, me. Oh, that me. That one? Yes, that guy. Pioneers of many worlds have told legends about me, but this specific Zhenya in this specific world seemed to not give a damn about who I am and what I am doing here. What? And our conversation that seemed to have started to interest her has turned to useless chatter. Who do I look like? Zhenya swept her eyes over me. A pioneer? Yeah, sure, a pioneer. That's logical. Nice joke. I grinned strenuously. I wasn't joking. It's just that I look like myself and you don't. I don't look like myself? You don't look like yourself. God! The final assault had begun. In what sense? She marveled. In the sense that you are not Zhenya. No, I mean, you're not the local librarian. Who am I, then? She moved her eyes to the side, as if looking for something on the bookshelves. I don't know. That's why I'm asking. If this is another joke... Joke? Well, you know, everyone knows already. She got embarrassed and blushed. No, I don't. With the thumbtack on my chair, I left to get a book, and while I was looking for it, Alyssa... Zhenya stared straight to the floor. Tears filled her eyes. No, I haven't heard about anything like that. Though if you think about it, something like that was happening in the previous times. Alyssa decided to play a prank. It's just that I paid absolutely no attention to it then. And Zhenya reacted differently too, I think. Alyssa. Red! Oh, hey, Alyssa. What's up? Get off me! The pioneer girl mumbled while buttoning her shirt, her tongue barely moving. The cybernetics club was bathed in the bright moonlight. On the table was lying an empty bottle with a tiny lake of vodka spilling around it. My cheek was burning, and the head was spinning so hard. I couldn't even understand why exactly, but hardly because of the alcohol alone. If you thought that I'm like that, then you can go to hell. The girl's fingers weren't listening to her. The button was jumping back and forth, but refusing to go to its prescribed place. Yeah? I lost my temper, grabbed the pioneer by the hands, pressed her against the table, and tore her shirt open with my teeth. Like what then? Like what are you then? I'm asking you. It's not a rhetorical question. Answer me! I didn't want to change anything. It all suited me. I was living my accustomed life in my accustomed world, doing what I wanted. Why the hell would I need this novelty? You want this, I know. To go swill vodka with a stranger 5 minutes after you meet him. Not like that, are you? To hell with all of you. Make everything how it was. I was losing control over myself, the situation, the world itself. Let go! It hurts! The girl was crying, but I was holding her firmly, and in a minute, she went limp and closed her eyes, with only occasional hot and salty tears falling from them. Now see? That's much better. I was roughly feeling her up everywhere, breathing rapidly and loudly at that. Because you are mine, because you are all mine here. This whole world is mine. But the girl wasn't resisting, and I suddenly lost interest, even felt disgust. And I don't need you. There are better ones here. I let her go. I let her go and slid down to the floor exhausted. The pioneer didn't move, only continued to sob quietly. I can have any girl here. Any, you hear me? I'll take this meat cleaver, and you think that didn't happen before? I was shouting. You think you can tell me what to do? This is my world, you hear me? Mine. You all don't even exist. I'm talking to myself. Stop whining. I lost the last bits of control over myself, jumped up and leaned all my weight on the girl. She seemed to be close to fainting already. I bent forward and whispered into her ear, "You know what I've been doing with you so many times? Wanna listen? Oh no, listen now and I'll tell you." Suddenly I panicked. It had been an infinitely long time since the very beginning. But every second of it I'd been living, was aware of myself as a person, was controlling the situation in this world and many before it. And for the first time I got a feeling that I'm disappearing, that in a moment's time I'll be gone. How can that be? It's me, don't you see? Don't you remember? You're a weakling. The girl whispers reached me as if from another world. A pathetic weakling. A nobody. I would feel pity, but you can't pity an empty place. I jumped back from her in terror. On the pioneer's face was frozen a grimace of disgust, the tears disappearing as if they've never been there. She got up from the table, took a couple of steps toward me, and stopped. Ah! So, this is gonna be my guess, guys. So do you want to hear my guess? Remember the Semyon that the real Semyon was always looking at? He had a dark face and he was all evil and stuff. I think that's who I'm playing as now. I think I'm that Semyon. That's my guess. I could be wrong, who knows. Why are you telling me all this? Zhenya asked lazily, turning a page over. Ripples were running across the water. Above us were swaying the leaves of a birch, with bright beams of the tired midday sun shining through them. The birds were singing loudly in the groove, and the small bugs hiding in the tall grass were busily jumping on my legs. Well, why are you reading that book? Don't tell me that's the first time. I like to. See, if you like to narrate, and I like to read. Oh, that's right. I'm right. I knew I was right. Ha 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 ha! I solved it. I solved the mystery. On the other shore, on the beach, pioneers were frolicking. Olga was running after Ulyana, and in the middle of the river, I distinguished Slavia's gold-colored head. Could she be swimming here? So what? What happened next? I thought you weren't interested. You are, though. Zhenya smiled. Ah, red. And now we're back here. She spat in my face and walked outside, shutting the door loudly after herself, and I was left standing there. What, is this it? The end? At some point I was waiting for it, maybe even with impatience. But it was so long ago that already I don't even remember. And what now? These dolls, these soulless dolls, destroyed my world that I had been building my whole life. Just like that, in one day's time, I ran my head over my cheek and saw my fingers covered with something wet. The night had long descended upon the camp, hiding the local pioneers under its cover, hiding their malice and willness. And I was just sitting in the cybernetics club, my arms folded around my knees, slowly rocking from side to side. Maybe that pioneer girl will come back now. After all, she could humiliate me with much more strongly, or even do something worse. But time was passing by, and it was only the singing of the night birds and chirping of the crickets getting quieter. And dawn is near too. The camp will wake up then and start living its life that had suddenly become so unfamiliar to me. Well, whatever, to hell with it. I got to my feet with some difficulty and looked at the empty bottle of vodka lying on the table. It would be nice to pass out now and wake up tomorrow as if nothing happened. Forget about today. Appear in a world I'm used to, where the pioneer's behaviors is familiar and predictable. And it all started with that little girl. She never cried before. Or maybe she did and I just never paid attention? Even if that's true, so what? What, become a weakling? Felt sorry for that little shit? Go down to their level even? No, I have to pull myself together. Pull it together. Pull it together. I left the cybernetics club, slamming the door loudly, and breathed in the fresh night air. Strange, it didn't feel as artificial as usual. So where should I go? I guess catching up to that pioneer girl and getting revenge for that spit in the face would be worth it. I would have never forgiven such an insult before, and I won't forgive it now. There wasn't a single living soul in the square aside from a pioneer sitting on a bench. I paid no attention to him at first. Who knows how many retards dwell here? But he called out to me. What? Another one? Hey, Semyon. Who the hell are you calling Semyon, damn you? I hissed under my breath. But the pioneer wasn't calming down. You must be looking for someone, but she didn't go that way. I froze in place, but immediately turned around and quickly walked up to him. So you saw her? Of course I did. A disgusting smile appeared on his face, a grin even, a savage one, expressing only one superiority over their opponent. Spill it out then? We're not playing a guessing game here. Wait, what are you in such a rush for? Sit down, let's talk calmly for a start. I have nothing to talk to you about. The pioneer thought for a moment, then rummaged in the pockets of his shorts, took out a pack of Cosmos, and held it out to me. Want some? Where did you get it? I don't remember regular pioneers having cigarettes, although so much has happened in the last 24 hours that has never happened before. I slowly drew out one cigarette and gave the pack back to the strange pioneer. He turned it around in his hands for a while, and then tossed it back to me. Nah, take it, I quit. And that filthy smile again. To hell with it though, I need to go catch that insolent bitch. So, tell me where she went. Why do you need that poor girl? She is insignificantly small on the scale of the universe, and maybe doesn't even exist in this one. He thought for a moment, then continued. Same goes for you. Are you sure you exist? And even if so, then your existence here and now is the real one. Maybe you really existed before, and now you don't. Or you will exist in the future, and at the moment it's just a doll standing before me. The word doll fired painfully in my head, as if a .45 caliber Colt blew my brains out, splattering the contents of the brain pan over the area. Yeah, and it's Slavia's turn to clean tomorrow. I involuntarily smirked inside. Who are you? The insolent girl that spat in my face had long flown out of my head together with my brain. Who are you? I'm asking you. Go back up. I grabbed him by the neckerchief and jerked him toward me with such strength that the damn red rag groaned and almost tore. But the pioneer only smiled. Calm down. Don't worry that much. It's impossible to die here. You should know. You've done that hundreds of times. I jumped back from him in terror. This phrase. I've certainly heard it before. No, not even that. I've been saying it myself. A long time ago in one of my previous lives. Because you are Semyon. And I'm Semyon because you are me. Whoa! The bench and the pioneer abruptly zoomed 100 meters away from me, as if I was falling from a roller coaster. Only his disgusting grin remained before my eyes. And then the world around was covered in darkness. So someone could really make this scary if they could. Like jump scares like crazy. With this mod, people can make this crazy scary. Well, and then I disappeared. Just like that. Zhenya kept her eyes fixed on the book, but the story seemed to start to interest her. Why not? The timely departure is a great skill. You know, and I'm a master of it. If anything. Yeah, you're a master of everything. She put the book down and hugged me. Slavia, who was clearly swimming in our direction, seemed to notice it and turned around toward the beach. Well, wait, I didn't even get to the main part. And not here after all. I shyly turned away from her. Zhenya clearly didn't like that and moved away from me. I'm tired of these stories of yours. They're always all one and the same. Let me tell you mine for a change. And what about, I wonder? Like how I got here, for example. I've heard it 100 times already. And I've heard yours 200. For Zhenya, Slavyanok didn't start with our meeting and the checklist, because I always had, have, and will have my first day of the session after she has barely spent a week in the camp. Do you know that feeling when the time has stopped, when you can't die, even if you really want to? Well, yeah, like here in this camp. No, it was always easier for me here. People behave more honestly, properly. No one really bullies anyone. And there's none of, at the very least, that malice that was everywhere then. Before, do you remember? I didn't answer. I can just read books, talk to people. Someone needs me. Someone considers me a friend. I have responsibilities. It seemed like Zhenya was ready to burst into tears. Alright, why am I getting... Anyway, this one time I just woke up because of the excessive shaking of the 410 bus. You ever taken that bus? I nodded. Well, I never did. We don't even have bus routes with 3 digits in our town. I didn't really understand what had happened yet, and the girl sitting near me says to me, "Hi, my name's Slavia." Slavia? What Slavia? Slavia who? Of course I was confused, but tried not to show it. Then we arrived at the camp, and things started to get stirred up. And then it happened again. And then again. Zhenya sighed. And I've seen you many times. You with Slavia, Alyssa, Lena. She quietly gritted her teeth. But that wasn't me. We've been over that 100 times already, and now you're starting again. You, not you. You're all like peas in a pod. I was in your camps too, right? But she was not at all like the real me. Exactly. Distinguishing the original from the fake is not as hard as you think. Yes, because the fakes get renewed every time and the originals stay. It's not like that at all. As if you know everything. What does it matter? I hugged Zhenya tight and closed my eyes. I woke up covered in sweat, my heart beating like mad. The rising sun was unbearably hot, though it was no later than 6 or 7 a.m. by the looks of it. What the hell happened to me? The sinister pioneer? What was that? Maybe it was just a dream, a hallucination? Right now I'm ready to believe in that, in anything at all. Someone was slowly walking toward me across the square. I stared and recognized the camp leader. "So, you're at it again. Why are you so close?" she said threateningly, leaning over me. "Yes, stay back." That made me get up from the bench and make a step back. And here I thought yesterday was just a misunderstanding. And I'm just speechless to do something like that to a girl. What is she even talking about? What girl? What does she need from me, damn it? At least the camp leader looked like usual. That calmed me down a little. So, answer me now. You think you'll just get away with it this time? I'll call the police. I'll even take it to the security of the All-Union Comsol organization. Comsol something. She was puffing so much she even went red and started to pant. In my camp, you! In general, this behavior from the camp leader didn't surprise me one bit, but I felt uneasy because my mind was still returning to the events of the past night, leaving a depressing, painful feeling close to embarrassment about something done while in drunken haze. The strangest thing was that I didn't care about the camp leader shouting aloud a mere meter away from me. Shut up already, okay? Shouting like there's a fire? What do you even know about problems? You think you've got a problem here? Oh ho ho! A pioneer was almost raped. What a disaster! I grit my teeth and cast a menacing look at the camp leader and set a flicker of fear across her face. How about I tell about real problems, not those in your little imaginary world? Though, just go to hell. You're just a waste of time. On the other hand, I always have more than enough of that time. A frightful thought suddenly flashed through my head. What if everything will always be like this now? What if I lose control over this world forever? Any pioneer girl who will be able to spit in my face, and the camp leader will get to lecture me like electronic. But that's worse than death. Anyway, I gotta go. I flung at the camp leader, who still hadn't recovered from the shock, and went wherever my legs would carry me. But really, what is death for me personally? It seems like I've long since ceased to understand the very concept of the idea. Because if I can't disappear, if I'm destined to live through the very same week in this damned camp, time and time again, then maybe death is losing myself, losing my power over the world, having uncertainty ahead. But that's even worse than the fate of any regular human. Their life is a game with an unhappy ending, and with no ability to save your progress. My life is a game with no ending, with the ability to save. What would they call such a life? If only I could remember how it is to be a regular man. They would probably call this hell. And this particular cycle, where even the soulless dolls humiliate me, is its last circle. I was ready to lose my mind, if only I could. All the thoughts I'd been diligently driving away from myself suddenly surged with a new strength, returning long-forgotten feelings. And who turned out to be right in the end? I was always convincing myself that I am right, not them, because I am alive and they disappeared while chasing empty illusions. But they disappeared and I stayed. And who got the better part of it in the end? Heh. An already familiar face snicker sounded nearby. Uh-oh. Looks like you've understood something today. I know who you are. My voice sounded calm, but the heart was beating madly like never before. Oh really? It'd be interesting to hear. You are the same as me, a pioneer but from another cycle. But didn't you already think that the others were no more after Semyon drove off on the bus that time? You thought that you were all alone now in all these endless camps? I could be wrong. As hard as it was for me to admit it, that possibility existed. You? Wrong? Why, that cannot be. Whatever. What do you need? Did you just come to mock me for what I've been doing before? You're saying that as if you feel guilty. I don't feel guilty, and anyway, that's none of your business. Just answer the question. Well, maybe you are right. The pioneer thought for a moment, though it's a sin to laugh at the miserable. I suddenly felt a distinct desire to punch that disgusting smile off his face. After all, I am a trembling creature. Or do I have the right? Who allowed him impose his ways in my world? Get lost. I shouted, jumped up and swung my fist at him as hard as I could, but my hand just flew through a haze that disappeared in the air, and I lost my balance, painfully falling to the ground. When the pain abated a bit, I felt as if someone was standing nearby. And indeed, from the bushes was peeping a sassy little pioneer girl.
You go where you're deserved.
She stuck her tongue out.
Guess you're not as brave with your peers.
Oh, you. It was so unexpected that I even forgot what I wanted to say. Doesn't it surprise you at all that a man just dissolved into a thin air right in front of you?
Well, things happen. Maybe it's some trick. It doesn't matter anyways. You got what you had coming.
Not wanting to put up with these insults any longer, I abruptly jumped up and rushed at her. But the girl was skillfully running through the trees while I had to spend precious seconds dodging the branches that slashed in my face, hillocks sticking out as well as invisible gullies. Ugh, not this music. Earning a couple bumps and scratched my hands bloody, I finally caught her at the square. What? Not so fast after all, are you? That's not as easy as running from some half-wits.
Let me go. Get off.
The pioneer girl was crying. Oh. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, we didn't hit her, did we? No, we didn't. Suddenly I felt a strong blow to my back. Everything swam before my eyes, and the ground came at me with tremendous speed. Thwack. So you're into children too? Thwack. That's it. Get up! We are so dead. A blow to the belly. I indistinctly covered my head with my arms. Not so cool now, are you? That would be Masha / Miku. Another hit. By that point, I was ready to lose consciousness, but gathering the last bits of strength, raised myself onto my elbows and rolled several meters to the side. Blood was flowing into my eyes, turning the crowd of pioneers beating me up into a continuous red haze. This, of course, is not the best educational method, but quite an effective one, I think. From who the hell knows where came the camp leader's voice. What are you doing? Enough! Sheesh. Sheesh. Did you read Don Quixote? Zhenya was sitting near me, merrily swinging her feet. Yeah, but I hardly remember what it was about by now. Windmills. All of your stories are like fights with windmills. What mills? Please. And even if there is no mill, you will surely build one, cause you just have to fight something. You're saying that as if I'm some kind of masochist. Aren't you? She smiled slyly. Zhenya, what would I do without her? Sometimes I thought that everything that happened with me in this camp wasn't that bad if this reward was waiting for me at the end. I pulled her to myself and kissed her. Wait, what if someone sees? Zhenya blushed and rushed, but more for show if anything. It doesn't concern you often. No, but anyway, where was I? The windmills? Yeah, no. I mean that you still can't settle down. Like if you had ridden the bus by that time, like all the normal people, I wouldn't have met you. As if you'd been meeting me before. Always Slavia, Alyssa, Lena, she griped. See, that means I've done everything right. To hell with you, alpha male with a hair on my foot. Let's stop talking about the past. We've got a whole life ahead of us. Yes, we do. A whole life. And now we're in the trees. Hey, you alive? The cold water splashed onto my face with difficulty, I managed to open my bunged up eye. Over me was leaning a pioneer. You again. What, they didn't finish me off and you decided to help? Well, go ahead then, get on with it. Somewhere deep inside I was even happy for such a turn of events. Finally, this broken, vicious circle would be torn apart. No, you don't understand. I'm not... Am I back? Is my voice back? Let's be friends. How long was my mic off? Can you let me know? What the heck, guys? Why is my mic breaking in the mornings now? This is not good. No, when did you ever see a patient giving himself injections? But I don't know how to... There's nothing difficult about it. It's just that for me in this world there are still only one and only taboo. Suicide. I was ready, and even wanted, to die at the hands of mad pioneers or a lethal injection. But ending my own life. UDK Kappa. Is anyone else here, by the way? Can anyone tell me how long my mic was out? Because this isn't a good thing, guys. This is a really bad thing. Also, once the story over, I'm getting kind of bored with it. A little bit. For some reason, it seemed that I shouldn't. I couldn't even explain why and never try to check. Maybe it was all because of that fear of uncertainty that had possessed me in the past 24 hours. Or maybe it's all much simpler than the reason is simply self-preservation instinct. Regardless, I was sure that if I'm killed by someone else, I will immediately wake up in a new loop, but ready for everything now. The only problem... So, let's be friends, or just anyone that's here. If you all can tell me, like, when the mic cuts out, that would be appreciated. I would be very happy. The only problem was the fact that this girl clearly wasn't going to help me with my voluntary quietus. No, What if I do something wrong? It's better to call the nurse. I'll go. I'll be back soon. The nurse was the last thing I damn well needed here right now. Wait. I barely raised up on an elbow and grabbed her by the hand. Don't you worry. I've done it hundreds of times, and I'll teach you too. There's nothing difficult about it. The girl wavered. First, take the tourniquet. Wait, what? Why would she need a tourniquet? It's used when taking blood. Okay, don't take the tourniquet. The pioneer girl laid the tourniquet on the table near me. I moved my left hand to the side to make it more convenient for her. Maybe we shouldn't after all. I won't even feel anything. Her hands were shaking, the needle jumping left and right. If she misses the vein, it won't be pretty. Euthanasia through the drugs from a Soviet medical kit is a precarious pleasure as it is. Don't look at me like that, the girl suddenly said. I'm looking at you. How? Don't get distracted. I can't do it like this. Oh, here we go. I made a helpless sigh and jerked my hand away from her. Okay, forget it. I'll just sleep and be all right tomorrow. Don't forget to turn the lights off and close the door when you leave. The girl obediently headed toward the exit, but froze halfway. Are you really in a lot of pain? I really am. What does it matter now? I'll just endure it. I could do it, only if you close your eyes. So if I close them, what will change? It'll be easier for me, like you're sleeping. Her eyes smiled. Okay, I'll close them. Doesn't seem to be anything scary. The girl walked up to me and took the syringe. So? Yes. I closed my eyes, and at the same second, a thought flashed through my brain. Why am I even trusting her so blindly? Let me check the mic. Okay, I'm still talking. Just half an hour ago, when standing on the porch, I was thinking very differently. Something pressed me to the... Come on, why? This music. With strength that made me unable to move my arms or legs. This bitch! Face! The pioneer girl with the tourniquet in her hands leaned over me. A second later, it tightened around her neck. Or my neck, or someone's neck. What are you... I wheezed. Even if this is the death I was urging her for, it shouldn't be like this. Not being strangled with a tourniquet. No, wait, I'm not ready. This pioneer was pulling even harder, a mad grimace on her face, mouth grinning a devilish smile. Sunken eyes opened wide and even seemed to glow with some unnatural light. I vainly tried to break free. The injuries and fatigue didn't let me. Here comes the anoxemia. Everything's getting blurry in front of my eyes. I close them, but the imprint of that crazy grimace is still left on the inner side of my eyelids. At the edge of my mind, I hear the creak of the opening door. The devilish pioneer loosens for grip, and then the face of another girl is already leaning over me. "Let's go, now!" the familiar voice whispers to me. Someone help me get up. I leaned on them and stumbled away from the infirmary. No, not this again. Don't be a jump scare, please. Don't do it. I'm not looking. I'm closing my eyes. I'm just waiting for a or something to happen. Or rawr, or some other stupid jump scare noise. Whew. Whew. What a nice jog this is. Woo. Alright, I'm getting a drink. Be scary. See if I care. Give me your worst. We were going slowly, often stumbling and bumping into everything. I was passing out and coming to all the time, but just couldn't raise my head, and was only looking at my feet. The paving stone in front of the infirmary gave way to the asphalt of the square, and then it to earth, covered by fallen leaves and fir needles. At last we stopped, and with difficulty I sank to the ground and looked around. Seems like the same clearing the pioneer dragged me to. I'm walking in some hellish circles today. I tried to smirk, but coughed immediately. The back of my hand got covered in blood. "Here, drink." The girl handed me a cold flask. I barely took several gulps and looked at my savior. She seemed to be the same familiar girl, but something was out of tune with her usual image. After all, a smile suited this pioneer girl more, than the expression of cold determination that was frozen on her face. I didn't even really know what to say. I've already been mistaken once about that maniac in the infirmary, and let myself relax for a second. Now I'm going to have to be wary till the end this time, though this unbearable pain in my whole body and my spinning head didn't let me concentrate even for a moment. "What's this all—" "Shh, no need to talk, you'll get worse. I know it all," the girl said, and looked at me carefully as if, contrary to her own words, she was waiting for an answer. "I know everything about you. I'm actually also real." "How the damn hell are you real? We already met yesterday. I haven't noticed anything real about you." I coughed up blood again. "Is this one of your jokes again?" I continued quieter. "You can't just kill me. You can't, right? You have to torture, to mock me, want me to go mad?" And then I realized that all of this had already happened once, though now our roles were swapped. No, it's not like that at all. You got it wrong. You weren't talking to me yesterday. Well, why am I explaining? It's like you don't understand yourself. The pioneer girl frowned. Didn't you ever met your own copies? There definitely was logic in her words that I couldn't find a flaw in right away. Well, maybe. And why do you need all this? To help me, I mean? Because you are the same as me. Real. Isn't it natural? Wouldn't you do the same in my place? If only she knew what I've done it before. But what if she isn't lying? After all, I did meet people other than me in this world before. Thanks. If so... The girl didn't answer anything, only smiled. But I still don't understand. How did you... I've met you 1,000 times before, and all of them were bots. It's hard to explain, and there's no time now. No time. Are you in a hurry for something? Not only me. Soon we will all escape here. You mean from this loop to a new one? No. I mean from this camp for good. What do you mean? I broke into a dumb smile. The very thought of there being an exit from this place had seemed absurd to me for a long time now. Don't tell me you want to stay here forever. Well, I've kind of been here forever already. I propose. You reject. Okay. No, wait, you just got me wrong. Then, though, why wrong, actually? Am I really ready to go back to the real world? It's alien and hostile to me now. This camp has become my home. But that home lies in ruins, robbed and burnt. Will I be able to build it anew? Yeah, so what do you want then? Okay, but but how? You don't propose I just take your word for it, right? If you really understand my situation, you won't refuse to explain. Fine, but not now. We have to make sure there's no pursuit. Wait. But the pioneer wasn't listening to me, and a second later she disappeared in the vivid greenery. Just wonderful. But I can't sue. What a pity. A serious oversight on our housekeeper's side. Oh, look who's talking. Where are you going to make the rings from? And are you maybe planning on just reeling the wire of the induction coil around your finger? I've got a couple of ideas. Well, I'm listening. Zhenya looked at me carefully and smiled, anticipating my failure. However, even before I met her, I had acquired some very different skills, and crafting together a couple of rings wouldn't be very hard for me. The only question is the equipment. You can't find a jeweler's instruments in a camp, so I simply wouldn't have had the time to prepare everything in a mere week, if not for the Cybernetics Club. If you rummage through the bulk of the equipment stored there, you could definitely find enough gilding for 2 simple rings, and keeping the local cybernetics occupied with something for a couple of days will certainly not be a problem, especially considering it's not the first time for me. That's a surprise. Even so, Zhenya got embarrassed. In a week's time they'll disappear. You know we won't be able to take anything with us. So what? What's more important to you? 2 pieces of metal or... No, of course not. But if we are going to do it the way it should be, then the dress too. Zenya's eyes sparkled. There were no problems with the suit. I knew for sure that several guys in the camp had pants and a jacket, maybe even of a dark gray color. A summer dress would look good on Zhenya, but the wedding dress was her idea in the end, which she predictably rejected right away. Ustul. What? Are you serious? Looks like she got tired of arguing already. No, but you can always ask one of the girls. I think that's the best option. Zhenya grew red, pouted, and turned away. Then go and ask them yourselves, and take measurements of yourself, cause you'll be the one wearing it. How do you even imagine I could do that? I'll just walk up to, say, Slavia and ask her, could you please do a wedding dress for me? How about you say that it's for a costume contest? No, that's kinda silly. For a costume ball. Zhenya was surprised, but didn't start arguing right away. I'll get the idea through the camp leader, don't worry, and there'll be nothing to be shy about. A wedding is a part of the performance. We'll make Shurik and Electronic perform man's first walk in outer space. Miku will cosplay Lenin on an armored car, and me and you will marry. And what historical event do you want to make this a reenactment of? God, what does it matter? Could even be the marriage of Electronic 2 and Peter 3. Ekaterina 2. Oh, what an unenviable fate is waiting for you then, darling. Zhenya smirked. No matter, it's just an example. See, you're joking already. Still, that's somehow... Trust me. Okay, if you think it'll all work out. Just checking again. Chapter, please, end. Please. It started to dawn. This fever made its presence known and seemed to get even stronger. Apparently the real pioneer girl got lost somewhere in the forest. Looks like I've been ditched again. Though I wasn't too hopeful this time. I just wanted to get everything back the way it was, not come back to reality. Maybe it's only been an hour on the other side. Maybe centuries. It doesn't matter anymore. I felt like a comatose man who wakes up and can't recognize the world around him. The horizon was burning with a bright scarlet glow, showering the sky with a flaming aurora. What if it wasn't just the inhabitants that had changed in this world? In a mere few minutes, the beams of the blazing sun will get here and burn me up, together with this whole damn Sovyanok. I wish the real pioneer girl would come back. It's better to settle in a new world than burn alive in a familiar one. More so because nobody there will know about everything that happened with me here. About everything I did myself. You seem to be in deep thought about something. A familiar voice sounded nearby. My voice. What do you want? I was surprised by his appearance and even scared a bit. I had enough problems with the maddening pioneers that had stopped even thinking about my doubles. Although, my doubles? How long has it been since I called them that? Right, for me there was always me and there were them. We have nothing in common. Hang on, let me check something, guys. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Even if we were at one at some point, maybe you're thinking, when did it all go wrong? Here he was mistaken. I wasn't thinking about that. Tormenting yourself with doubts, asking yourself questions you'll never find answers to. I just want this to be all over, and your presence is hardly helping with that. Everything's long over, if you mean it that way. Oh, really? That's not particularly noticeable. For everyone but you, that day in the bus you made the wrong decision and died. I looked over my body carefully. It hurts, which means I'm alive. I don't look much like a dead man. You think it's really all that simple, that movie-like? Do you want to remember the moment when the life left you? You remember your last breath, that point of transition, the first moments on the new level of existence? I don't really get you. Then that means I've already died then, in reality. No, you've been given a chance, but you didn't use it and ended up in your own personal hell. Limbo, if you wish. Oh, look at you reinventing the wheel as if I didn't know that. You knew that, but you didn't know that you're alone here now and there's no exit. I knew that. Or at least I'd assume so. So what about you then? I'm not here, I'm just your hallucination. The forest resounded with his disgusting laughter. This is all painfully familiar, but why is it repeating itself now? It is true when they say that troubles never come singly. Be my guest. I closed my eyes and even turned away just to be sure. Don't treat him like that. He's one of us too. Or at least he was once. The familiar voice sounded a bit different. And there's 2 clones now. Now 2 pioneers were standing in the clearing in front of me. You have to fight fire with fire. He's already been through enough fighting. I wouldn't say it's enough yet. They were arguing and the reality lost all meaning to me. Look, he's lost his mind for good already. That's nothing special. It'll pass. Like in the story that we told Uliana. Signed with the name of a non-existent friend. The mad regain their sanity and the sane go mad. And then the devilish laughter again. You think this is his first time? Isn't it? I know for sure that it isn't. He thinks he remembers everything. He's ready for everything. He knows the behavior of every pioneer beforehand. But he forgot so much, maybe forgot the most important thing. Enough already! These 2 suddenly stepped aside and the cat girl and the cat-eared one came forward. I was already kind of wary of her because I thought that there was nothing good to expect from her. Moreover, somewhere deep inside of me she caused some kind of animalistic primal fear, like the fear of the dark, and I never believed her stories either. Like that she's our subconsciousness, its hidden part. What nonsense. Don't you see how bad off he is? You're no use, like you. She pointed her finger at the evil pioneer. Hurry to the infirmary for pills. What pills? He was a bit startled. I don't know. Aren't you the smartest one here? Figure it out. The pioneer sighed hopelessly and dragged himself in the direction of the camp. And you? She looked at the good one. And you? Well, find something to do. Honestly, your whining is sickening. It only makes things worse. But I only wanted to help. But you're not helping, so go. She waved her hand and made an expression that made a thought flash through my head. Just like a grumpy cat. The pioneer didn't argue and followed his double. So, what now? I asked without much enthusiasm. I've been tricked more than once, and I'm not going to believe her now. Especially her. I would never have thought that. Of all the local inhabitants, it would be the cat-eared one to come to help me. Even if only in words. After all, she remembers the previous times, remembers our quarrel in the bus. You think you'll be able to make an idiot of me again? Gathering the last bits of strength, I raised myself, my eyes darkening from pain. But where will I go? I should have taken the syringe myself. Why did I even just decide that a suicide here is the end?
Hey!
The cat-eared one jumped to my side with one leap and held me so I wouldn't fall. You. Do you really want me to believe you're helping me?
And what do you think I'm doing now? After all, I'm always helping you all.
Yeah, sure. Bless me? Thank you. Am I still... Talkie Talk? Yeah, I'm Talkie Talk. I sank onto the ground again and let out a heavy sigh. There's really nowhere for me to go in this condition. So, when will your pioneers return?
Soon,
she answered vaguely. Okay, let's sit. Let's wait. I've got nothing to lose anymore. Summer. It's summer. But Selene, guess what? It's the last of the summers. Also, welcome, Selene. How are you doing today? The whole camp gathered at the square. Ilyana was chasing Electronic in a vain attempt to take away his very crumpled cardboard cosmonaut helmet. The scene of the man's first walk into open space was not without some amusing incidents. Genda's monument served as an improvised rocket for the cybernetics, and Sherrick managed to trip and fall from it at the most crucial moment. It's a good thing that the distance to the ground was significantly shorter than near the near-Earth orbit, and it met him in the song, with the grass near home. Stop running, you'll kill yourself for good. Olga was wailing. I'm not even sure what concerned her more than this in the situation. The cyberneticists or the image of the camp had no accidents. 365 days a year since the beginning of time. Zhenya was standing near and tugging on my sleeve, but I was too carried away with the spectacle and didn't notice right away. So, what? Are you sure we should be doing this? But you wanted this yourself. I didn't want anything. You just suggested and I agreed. We've discussed this 100 times already, and you know full well that it's not for real. Oh, so it's not for real, huh? She said dreadfully. That's not what I mean. We're just in this world. Don't forget it. In a couple of days, everything will repeat itself, and no one will remember this. Yes, but I will. So who are you embarrassed by the most? Those around you or yourself? Zhenya blushed and said nothing. Okay, go change already. Olga commanded us. Ready? Zhenya nodded. Aww, isn't this sweet? We're getting married, guys. We're getting married. And what is this picture? 10 minutes later, a strange sight for a regular pioneer camp could be seen at the square. Oh, what am I saying? It was strange even for Savianak. And I felt strange too, standing in the middle of a crowd of pioneers in an old Soviet costume off someone else's back. Not a formal tailcoat, of course, but still better than shorts and a short-sleeved shirt. Whereas Zhenya was apparelled in the hastily cut semblance of a wedding dress. In another situation, I'd say she looks foolish, but not now. Now this dress seemed to me more beautiful than any attire from the pompous fashion shops. So, what scene are you playing now? I forgot. The camp leader whispered into my ear. Olga, what does it matter already? Let's start. Okay. Zhenya was standing as red as a lobster, not knowing where to put her eyes. She seemed now to strongly want to look at me. Everything will be all right, I said quietly. Mika was merrily smiling in the crowd of pioneers, as if this were her own wedding. A bit foolish maybe, but sincerely. Lena was blushing as usual. I wouldn't say blushing, I'd say she has sparkly eyes. But sometimes casting careful glances at us. Alyssa's whole look was saying that she'd been dragged here against her will, and she would have been playing the guitar or just sleeping if only she could. Though Ilyana was clearly thrilled with the whole spectacle, children don't need much to be happy. As for Slavia, she seemed to be really happy for us and smiled kindly. Let's get this over with already. Looks like any more and Zhenya will be embarrassed to death. Okay, we are ready. I nodded to the camp leader. Now, I had to say what they usually say at weddings. Of course I didn't know the exact word and managed to safely forget everything I prepared beforehand. I promise. I started, my voice shaking. In sickness and oldness. No, that's not how it was.
What are you mumbling? We can't hear anything.
Ilyana merrily shouted. Be quiet, you, or we'll put you in Zenya's place. The threat had immediate effect and Ilyana fell silent. Excuse me. Well, that's just a minute ago. I could have sworn I was absolutely calm, and now I couldn't say a word. I can only guess what Zhenya was feeling. I gathered my courage. I promised to be with you for better and for worse, for richer and for poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do us part. The pioneer's joyful clamoring until now stopped talking immediately. It got so quiet I could hear my heart beating furiously. Zhenya was still standing, her eyes dropped to the ground. Well, now you. She pumped air into her lungs and pattered. Agreed to marry you, promised to be with you in sickness and for poorer. Here. The crowd exploded with laughter. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Though for me Zenya's words sounded quite serious. And get it over with already. And what about, now you can kiss the bride? I asked with a playful tone. Zenya's eyes sparkled, making it clear that the situation was good enough even without kisses. I guess she's right, and we'll have time for that anyway. Good job. Thanks, everyone. Olga was shouting. Electronic came forward with a camera. He looked as if he would be much happier having a crowbar in his hands instead. A couple of shots to remember. Hell no, Zhenya bawled at him. Come on, for the family album. She hesitated a little, but gave the semblance of a smile after all. Wow! It all turned out as it should be. Better than it should be. For the first time in all this time, Zhenya looked me right in the eyes, smiled, and said, yeah, I guess. Okay. And now what? I woke up when the day was already drawing to a close. The fever had abated, and I found an injection mark on my right hand. Did the cat-eared one really help me? At first I couldn't even believe there's somebody here capable of a kind deed after all that's happened in the last few days. With some difficulty I got up and headed toward the camp. After all, I definitely had nothing to do in the forest, and it doesn't look like it can get any worse. Just checking again. I'm paranoid now. Time and again, a thought was appearing in my head. I have to endure. I have to live through this week, and then it'll be easier. I will recover physically, and there will be even some time to recover mentally. Just don't despair. Don't give up. Don't be like him. I'd rather die here than live like that. Pioneers with backpacks, bags, and parcels were scampering back and forth through the square. The camp leader was standing near Genda, like a small monument, arms akimbo and shouting formidably. I froze on the spot, not knowing what to expect. This world is in a continuous motion. It changes before my very eyes. Just yesterday they were ready to kill me. What about today? Hey, Semyon! The camp leader shouted and looked at me intimidatingly. Who, me? Are you addressing me? Why aren't you packed up yet? Packed up? I'm ready to be packed off. Today's the last day of the session. Did you forget again? Packing up, off you go. I didn't want to argue with her. I just didn't have the strength. And I stopped being surprised a long time ago, so I just flung out. Is it okay that I look like this? I pointed my torn clothes and the bruises all over me. What happened to you? The camp leader sincerely wondered. Were you running through the forest and fell? What the hell are you talking about? What forest? Why would I even need to run through the forest? Okay, it's not my business. We are leaving in half an hour. If you're late again, you'll stay for another session. She smirked. Stay here for another session? No, this definitely lies outside of my plans. Anyway, a new chance to get out of here appeared, even in such a dumb way. I slowly dragged myself toward the bus stop. The whole camp crowded in front of the bus. Everyone's waiting for the camp leader, after all. After all, following rules contradicts her own rules. Oh, what happened to you? The pioneer from the infirmary inquired maternally. Are you all right? Need a bandage? Why stop at that? Offer me a splint. Must have fallen into a ditch and cried his eyes out. Sure, look who's talking.
What if wolves got him?
Okay, only if those wolves were the local pioneers. I was just sitting quietly on the roadside, my head lowered onto my hands. I didn't even want to think about what would happen tomorrow, whether I will get into a new loop or it will all end once and for all. Or maybe there's something else waiting for me ahead. Something better? Arr. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I woke up, Zhenya wasn't nearby. Must have gone to take care of some personal business. God, why does she need this whole pioneer game? Especially on the wedding night. I stretched myself and yawned with pleasure. Oh well, at least I can surprise her. Pick some flowers in the forest. Not much of a gift, but I know she likes May lilies. I could never understand why women like flowers. Why not nettles or hogweed then? Those are plants too, and they are nice in their inhabitants, not pots or vases. Though what does it matter, if every time I gifted flowers to Zhenya, her face lifted up with a bright smile? Of course, it might have been not because of the flowers alone. With a bouquet in my hands, I filed into the library, loudly throwing the door again open. Behind the librarian's table was sitting Alyssa, looking gloomily and leafing through some magazine. "Oh, the newlywed has shown up," she muttered, looking at me sullenly. "Hey, where's Zhenya?" "Dunno. Asked me to sit here and went somewhere herself." Well, yes, my Zhenya can't even persuade Alyssa. Okay, then I'll... And somehow she wasn't glowing with happiness at all. Alyssa said to my back, "Where did Zhenya go? Maybe she decided to make me a surprise gift too?" No. Sheesh. No, surprises are not her thing. It must simply be time for breakfast. I ran to the canteen. Everyone's here. The pioneers were merrily clamoring inside. The dishes were clattering in the same merry manner. Even the unusually gloomed lady cook looked unusually merry today. I noticed Slavia and walked up to her. "Hi, have you seen Zhenya?" Slavia looked at me with surprise, then got embarrassed and turned her eyes away. "I think she went to the bus stop." "The bus stop? Why?" "I don't know. You better ask her yourself. You'll still make it if you hurry. To the bus stop. To the bus stop!" In a minute I ran past the cab's gates and saw Zhenya standing at the road, her gaze directed somewhere far away to the horizon, past the plains and the forest, following the bright summer sun. A strange expression was on her face. Sadness, anticipation, and anguish mixed together. Gosh. But at the same time, Zhenya looked so very different. I didn't recognize her. Better? No, I can't believe this, even less than the fact that tomorrow I'll return to the real world. Maybe it was better before? It seemed like that pioneer was saying that I'd forgot a lot. But what exactly? I'm just flashing through different things, I guess. I don't know. "Hey, I was looking for you." That sounded silly, and my voice was trembling. I just had to say something, so I put a fake smile on and tried to talk in a friendly manner. "What do you want?" Zhenya responded coldly. "I woke up and you were gone, so..." Zhenya turned around with her eyes shining. "I'm going," she said with a calm voice. "Where?" "Home." "But buses don't come here." "Buses? What the heck?" "They do. Here, I made this for you." I handed her a bouquet, which instantly ended up on the ground. "I don't need anything from you. You, yesterday, I don't want to know you. I don't know what happened, but I'm sure it was all your fault." "What was my fault?" "Everything. The stupid marriage, and what happened during the night. But we agreed. You wanted this yourself, remember, a couple weeks ago. I didn't even know you a couple weeks ago." Rad. Yeah, it all started back then. Or continued. I don't care anymore. I decided that I could be happy with Zhenya, but she disappeared just as she appeared. Suddenly. Zhenya not in the library, but at the canteen porch. It was so long ago. I lost my faith once. I stopped being human. But then I met her and it almost seemed like life was giving me a second chance. I'll bet in this strange world. But then she was gone, and during the endless cycles I forgot everything. I went back to how I was before I first met her. I stopped being myself. Maybe he was right. What are you saying? We've known each other for... I don't even know. How long have we known each other for? I don't know you, and I don't want to know you. But wait. Suddenly weakness hit me and I dropped to my knees just to avoid falling on my face. My ring felt very hot on my finger. I could feel the burning almost physically. Here, take it. Zhenya took something out of her pocket and threw it at me. I'm going for a walk. I twisted the thin engagement ring in my hands and started crying. I've never cried like this before. Not in this world, not in the previous one.
Ah.
And everything ended. Forever. I guess something human remained in me, so I decided to forget everything, so as to not go completely insane. But now all my memories were here, and with them came the pain. It wasn't that bad. It had slowly weakened through time, but it was still tearing me apart. Almost as if I was being torn to pieces, and the only piece remaining was the one with my consciousness somehow in it. Not one, not half, only a sad coincidence. An acceptable error in the perfect equation of this world. Don't be so sad, bro. Some pioneer was sitting next to me. You again? Who, me? What difference does it make? You, him, that one, this one, you all look alike. He didn't respond. He just giggled. Did you come here to mock me again? Would have been better if you'd kill me that time. But you remembered everything. I remembered, and it's even worse because of that. You're the one at fault here. As fault for what? For trying to stop you from leaving with Catyard? I know that was you in that bus. There were still no emotions on the pioneer's face. Maybe it was or it wasn't. What's the difference now? That means you managed to get out and came back just to mock me? Didn't you do the same? Stop pushing these mortals onto me, for God's sake. Whew. I was down on my knees and looked at Zhenya, who was slowly getting further and further away. Oh, I know. The emotion, guys. And there she went around the corner. I can't get her back. Anyway, I knew that this wasn't Zhenya. My real Zhenya disappeared yesterday. This was just a soulless doll that looked like her. But she looked just like her. The tale can't last forever. This world is a true hell, and I'm the demon. And demons can't ever reach true happiness. Just tell me one thing. I killed the silence. Why is everything like this? You had a chance from the very beginning. A choice. You could have done everything differently. Many did it right, different from how you and others alike did. Yeah, right. They all got out and are now living happily with their dolls in their real world. I grinned. Did you think that your life is better? He clearly emphasized the word life. If you're the one that took Zhenya away from me, rage was growing inside of me. I wanted to jump on him and beat him to death. But I wasn't sure that he existed in the physical world. But even then, what would change? You could have been happy with every other girl. That's the reason they're all here. I didn't expect such an answer. But none of them are real. The only real ones were me, you, us all. Zhenya? That's only for you, in your world. You know that there are many realities, and in every one of those you pick your own faith. Maybe there was only one Semyon, but this camp gave him multiple possibilities. Someone managed to get out and now lives happily. It's just like you said, someone stuck like you. Can you tell me what this place is? Who are you? You can think of me as the camp leader. The pioneer gave a smile without any trace of mockery or irony and vanished. I felt a bit easier after hearing his words. Do 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 music. The world was suddenly engulfed in fog, and a bright flash appeared in front of me. I looked around and realized that the pioneers are gone, as well as the bus. What again? Oh! The gates creaked silently, and I hid behind the pioneers' monument. Semyon walked onto the bus stop. One of the Semyons, but his facial expression was painfully familiar. I've forgotten long ago that I can look exactly like that. He stared at the road for some time and headed back into the camp. Don't trust him, I said on an impulse. Who are you? Semyon looked surprised. Stop, don't come any closer. All right, I'll stay here. Have you seen him? Talked to him? Who are you even talking about? You know who. Yes. What did he tell you? Nothing, really. Did he give you advice? Did he tell you what to do? Threaten you? No, nothing like that. Oh, of course, he seemed pretty weird, but nothing more than that. Remember, he may not be alone, or more likely, he is alone, but you may meet many pioneers here who look like him. And what about you? Who are you? Who are you hiding from? You will understand, in time. Just remember, The most important thing is to find the exit. Oh. The wind became really strong for a moment, and the same flash appeared before me. Ah, light. And again in an instant, the bus and pioneers appeared once again. I don't know what I told him everything for. I thought it was the right thing to do. If only I remembered what remorse and repentance were, then possibly that would be what I'm feeling. A pioneer should always be ready. A familiar voice sounded like thunder in the midst of a clear sky, and a familiar thump on my back brought me out of the catatonic state I was in. Zhenya was standing in front of me. I instantly knew that this was Zhenya, not the doll. But how? Those were the only words I could whisper. Alright, need a drink. Need a little drinky drink. Oh, man. Here we go. I don't know. She smiled, but her voice was trembling. Back then, after the wedding, I woke up in a different world. I thought that I'd lost you, and then there were so many loops and I nearly forgot. Sorry, I said quietly. I know, everyone. It's over. Forgive me for everything. But that was okay. Then he came and said that he could guide me to the world you're in. I didn't believe it at first, but... yeah, the music's really nice. Aww. Here I am. I jumped forward and hugged Zhenya. Forgive me. I'd forgotten everything. Forgotten you. I've done so many bad things to you. I didn't believe it. Didn't hope for it. I'm sorry. You're going to suffocate me. She freed herself from my arms. But now I'm here, so everything is okay. She said through her tears. How can you be so calm? Because I always knew that we were going to be together. Zhenya raised her right hand, and on her finger I saw a ring that was woven out of May Lily. I've lost mine. Sorry. It's okay, we'll buy a new one. She smiled. Hey, hop onto the bus, you two. Olga was screaming discontentedly. Oh, it's so sad. The bus was peacefully bouncing over the bumps and slowly driving toward the district center, or wherever it was going, really. You know, I can't believe that everything will end. I've gone through so much in the last week, and once again, you got the most interesting parts. Zhenya sulked. I don't think you'd like to exchange places with me. I can imagine, but it's still way more interesting than sitting in the library for days on end. You have weird ideas about interesting things. If you think about it, about what? What will happen next? Tomorrow? We still need to meet somehow in the real world. Oh yeah, let me write your address down. Yeah, right, so you can send me a letter right now. I smiled. I'll memorize it. Go ahead. We exchanged numbers and addresses. It's weird that we didn't have this idea earlier. I assume that we never even hoped to get out of this world. And we just didn't want to remind ourselves about our past lives. What do you think it will be like? The usual, we just fall asleep? Zhenya clasped my hand and pressed her entire body against me. I hope so, but in the end, this isn't the worst thing. I'd say one of the better ones. Zhenya yawned and closed her eyes. Sweet dreams. See you. I didn't say anything and just continued looking out of the window at the landscape that was flying by. The Savyanak camp was left behind, and I will never return there. Yes, I was sure about that. But it will always be a part of my life. I've changed there, changed multiple times. Compared to the time spent there, the mere 50-60 years that I had remained in the real world are just a short moment, but I'll make sure to live them like a real human. Yeah, you're probably bad, just as that pioneer said. Zhenya mumbled through her sleep. What? Nothing, just sleep already. She laughed and pinched me playfully. Tuh. Ain't that cute. Well, we're home! Yay! I wondered what everyone else felt in my place. The same loss of conscience in the first moments, the feeling of anxiety, panic. I came back to my old apartment, but I didn't recognize any of it. Yes, it definitely feels like being in a house that you lived in many years ago. Everything looks to be in the right place, but you don't remember anything. You just think that this is how it's supposed to be. I've already forgotten the day I've disappeared from this world, and I'm not so sure about the year either, but it's winter outside, and that means that not much time has passed here. Yes, I'm not 17 years anymore, but I don't look like my real age either. So it turns out everything went okay. My return didn't have any unexpected consequences. Zhenya. I rushed to the table and wrote down the address and phone number with a shaking hand. I obviously wouldn't be able to forget them, but it'd be better to have a backup anyway. Now, what's next? How does this world work anyway? The laws are completely different here, none of which, to be honest, I've ever understood. And now I'm like a newborn, forced to live an adult's life. But let's save that for later. For now, I need to find Zhenya. Someone rang the doorbell. Humans. Real humans, not pioneers. I've got to open the door. What else can I do? I finally returned and I have to live in this world now. I slowly walked up to the door, turned the key in the lock, grabbed the handle, and froze. So, how long should I stay in the doorway for? It's Zhenya! But older. Or in new clothes. I opened the door with a jerk and saw Zhenya. She looked just like she did in the camp. But how? Remember, I always arrived in the camp 1 week earlier than you, and I returned 1 week earlier. I forgot about Savyanak, forgot about the real world. The only thing that matters is we're together. I grabbed Zhenya and carried her into the room. So, are we just gonna stand around? Sorry. Zhenya lightly jumped down onto the floor. Wait a bit, we need to do this right now. We might not have time for it later. She smiled and started digging through her purse. Give me your hand. I extended my arm out to her, and Zhenya put a ring on my finger. Zhenya put a finger on my ring. Just a very basic one, like the one back in the camp. In the dim light of a dusty ceiling lamp, a golden ring was shining on her finger. I think I should have brought the rings. Well, judging by the looks of your man cave, I don't think you have the money for them. We laughed together, sincerely. No snow was falling outside the window. White, beautiful snow. The darkness of the night sliced by thousands upon thousands of the lights of the big city, which was singing with hundreds of voices, reminding us that we're still alive and still together. I gently moved my hand across Zenya's cheek. Warm, real. You won't disappear this time? You better believe it. You still owe me money for the rings. I hugged Zhenya and kissed her like never before. Where am I from? I'm from America. Hello, Fizurukov. Welcome to the stream, which is ending soon. How are you? Aww, what a nice ending that was. I am now with Zhenya. And that's it. We are done. Done with this game forever. All endings are done. Every single one. Wait a minute. What if there's a new mod now? A brand new mod? Nope. No new mods. Well, that's it, guys. Everlasting summer. This long summer is over. That was it. What a game this was. What a visual novel. My third visual novel, guys. I liked it. Before I end the stream, I wanna check something out really quick. Bye, Yulia. I'll miss you. I wanna check something out really quick, guys. It's so interesting to see that in America, someone plays visual novels from Russia. Yeah, it is weird, but hey, I like it. I just like the opening trailer. I like the do-do-do-do-do-do. But Ultima, what about modifications? I might return to it someday. But there's something I want to see, though. Do you like this game as well? Everlasting Summer? It's too bad you came here now at the end, you know? But hey, it was a good journey. But you said that this company's making a new game, right? Let's check it out. Let's check it out really quick. Welcome to Steam, everyone. Welcome to the Steam store. Store. Here we go. What's this? Everlasting... Keiko Everlasting. Wonder if that's a good game. Yeah, we did it, guys! We did it! God, this music is so awesome. This is my favorites of the musics. This trailer won me over. Soviet games. Good job, you guys. Love, money, rock and roll. What is this? Yep, summer's over, Selene. Wow. Himitsu. Hello. Ellie. Catherine. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Fizruka, for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the community. I'm sorry that this was the last stream of Everlasting Summer for a while, but I might play one of the mods. Maybe. As long as they're appropriate, you know? Stream appropriate. PG at least. Look at these characters though. I like this. Guitars. This'll be Alyssa's game. Yeah. Rock out. Tree, son. Love, money, rock and roll. So what do you think, guys? What do you think of this game? Oh, go back. No, never mind. Tree. Hey! Isn't she in your class? I don't know. Don't even own this game yet. Pick one! What? I don't care what you believe. Who could possibly care about a simple Japanese student like me anyway? And why now? You're like a frequent guest here, correct? So guys, I think we should play this game next. What do you say? Oh. I see, I can't play this game now because it's not even out yet. March 1st, 2019. What do you think, guys? Should I add to my wish list? Well, I just did, so. Let's check out my wish list now. A lot of things, a lot of cool things. This is another visual novel I want to check out. I Am Setsuna, Eternal Radiance. So guys, that was it. Everlasting Summer. I want to thank the Everlasting Summer community, the Russian community, for being good people. Being people, you know? Thank you for being nice. For nice people. I'm going to return to Pixelmon for a while. And then I think in February, I will play a new game. I will be playing, what is it? A little game that people don't know much about. What's it called? There it is, right there. Stop it. Life is Strange I want to play. You think that's a good one? Good game? Good game? Yeah, thanks for being good people. You guys were really awesome, and I'm happy to have you. And I hope you can stick around for future streams. Future non-Russian visual novel streams. I want to find more visual novels too, just in general, you know? Life is strange. Oh, not appropriate. Oh, can't watch it. Visual novel maker. You will find me some. Oh, Selene will find me some. Make sure they're appropriate, Selene. Perfect date. Oh, here we go. This is perfect. Literally, a cat dating visual novel. Oh, there's humans though. That's no good. That's no good. This one I kind of want to play. Hateful Boyfriend. Now these girls look cute. Yuya Sakazaki. Look up Seabed. I will, don't worry. Cuckoo! Never worry, never fear. Oko-san never brings up the rear. Look at this cute little bird. Nagati Fujishoro. Yeah, I like this. This is nice. Looks like a good game. Hateful Boyfriend is really good. Should I put that on my wish list? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, guys. Is this game free? Oh, no, it's not. Collector's Edition. Collection upgrade. It's a lot of money, though. Including Azama special ending. Ooh. I want this ending with this bird. I will never look up birds the same way again after I play that game. Seabed. Seabed Prelude or Seabed? Alright, Selene, impress me. If this is inappropriate, then you're fired. I'm joking. No, you're not. You saw a ghost in the living room? Oh, it looks like real things. Look up modifications for Everlasting Summer. I know. I already did. The ghost ate my fried egg and commended its taste. As I listened to her talk, my memories drifted back to the days when we were still together. What? Bubbles! Girls! Together. Love, Money, and Rock and Roll? Yep, that'll be next. That'll be one of the next ones. Hello, Crystal Sup. Welcome. How are you doing today? The most important thing, gay girls. Of course, I should have known. Takano. Which one should I fall for? Takano? She does have green hair. This is a very chill commercial, or a chill trailer. You are fine? That's good. I'm glad you're fine. It's a lovely day today. A simply lovely day. A lavishing day, darling. You just like observing people. Well, that's good. Oh, isn't that cute? Seabed. Rewarding experiences this year, and you had a lot of rewarding media. In short, it's a beautiful game. Positive. I kind of want to see some bad reviews, just for fun. This game sucks! This is the worst game ever! If you like clicking through endless dialogues with some still images in the background, go ahead. You will love this. Oh, well, there you go. It's garbage. Worst game ever. Even though all these recommendeds are here, I'm gonna listen to the one non-recommended thing. Just the one. Yep, that's literally the only one. Sorry for your bad English. No, your English is fine. Your English is actually really, really good. A visual novel being a visual novel? Yeah. Why would you even bother? Why even waste your time, am I right? I'm trying to think of other games. A game I want to play, I have the anime, but I want to play this one. Clannad. I'm not going to listen to the trailer because I might get copyright. This apparently is a really, really good visual novel. Very positive, overwhelmingly positive. The anime for this is like feelsy. It's one of my top favorite animus.
Do you like this girl?
Yeah, it's a good time. Alright, other than that, not really much more I can do. Do I play Katawa Sojo? Well, let me look that up really quick. Katawa... Is it a Steam game? Shoujo. If it's not a Steam game, oh no, it's not. I probably do not, sadly. Just for fun, since we're messing around for a little bit, I'm going to end shortly. Let's see what's upcoming. What are some new games coming out? Oh, right there. Right there. Love, Money, and Rock and Roll. It's not a Steam game. Aw, man, it should be. What is this? All upcoming releases. Not in heaven. Box the game. That looks amazing. Rip. Thing. Wild Kids. Mature content. I'm good. Run Bird Adventure. Monsters. Sorcery. Whatever the heck this is. Mirror Maker. Looks like another visual novel. Maybe. Oh, adventure RPG. Never mind. It's a very nice visual novel. If I know how to get it, I'll check it out. Remember, all games are worth playing, guys. All games are worth playing once. And then we'll never talk about them again. Love Shoot. There we go. Why? Whatever that is. A postmodern RPG. I'm not seeing any big releases, just like little games that like indie people work on. Like this is their first game and they're trying to get their game out. I hope they do well. Lots of bullet hells, gun games. Artist Idol. Let's go to the last one, 87. Captain Tail, School Covern. That looks pretty cool. After Dawn, The Alchemist demo. This is like years from now. 2022, guys. Are we even all gonna be alive in 2022? What if the world's just ending there? What if the world ends in 2021? Little Legend. It's a little legend, guys. Just a little one. Are you searching only visual novels? No, I'm searching everything. All the things. Basketball Girls. There we go. UMWH1 March. Are you talking about the new visual novel coming out? What the heck is this? What the heck is this? Alright, guys. 2012 Armageddon. Yeah! To think in 2022, it would have been 10 years since 2012. Isn't that crazy? Check out This Is the Police. Okay. This will be the last thing I do, guys. This is the Police. This is the Police 2. This is the Police Bundle. The game may contain content not appropriate for all ages. Mature, sexual content, violent, nudity. Maybe this is a bad idea. I'll take like quick things of it. What is this? Looks interesting. Huh. I don't know. It doesn't look like my kind of game. We'll see. Alright, guys, that'll be it for now. Thank you all so much for attending. Thank you for being with me during this crazy, crazy adventure through Everlasting Summer. You all have been awesome. Tomorrow we return to Pixelmon. And I hope that I can get my viewers and followers up. We gotta grow the channel, you know? Grow the channel. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I will hopefully see you all next time. Everyone, take care. See ya!